Mr. Senator, your farmers, and South Dakota is a farm state to a large degree, you're getting hurt by these tariffs. Now, the president has a plan to siphon $15 billion to American farmers to make up for the shortfall that they're not going to get from China. Is $15 billion enough to keep the farmers on the president's side?
I'm not sure I know the answer to that, Stuart, but I do know one thing, that farmers want to see the president succeed. They know that China has been a bad actor when it comes to trade, and they want to see him get a deal that will open up more of their markets to our farm commodities and other types of products and things that we make and we raise and grow in this country. And so I'm hoping that these negotiations, discussions that we're in the middle of will ultimately get us to a good end and a good result. In the meantime, if they do make payments to farmers, I think farmers obviously would view that as a short-term solution. What they want in the long term is a market, of course.
Is the Republican Party, both in the Senate and the House, are the Republicans united in support of President Trump on the China trade issue?
I think that the Republicans in both the House and the Senate are trying to give the president a lot of running room on this, because they think we believe that he is doing the right thing in trying to get China to the table and get them to correct what have been trade abuses that literally go back for decades. And so I think he's got a deep, pretty reservoir and well of support among members of Congress, and I think across the country for that matter too. And honestly, it goes both Democrats and Republicans, because I think everybody agrees that China really is the big threat of the future, and that if we don't get them to play fair and play by a set of rules that we can all agree upon, it's only going to get worse down the road. So there's that, but I condition that by saying that in the middle of the country and farm country, this is getting really hard, because the economic impact of these tariffs is being very felt in a very deep way in terms of our economy.
We have another very important story which we'd like to cover you with, Mr. Senator, and that is robocalls. Yeah, right. There's a lot of interest on that. I know you introduced the TRACED Act in the Senate, aimed at ramping up punishment for robocallers. Can you give us the latest on this?
Right. I think everybody in the country is sick and tired and annoyed with the nuisance of robocalls, but it's more insidious than that. There are these bad actors, these violators, scam artists, if you will, who prey on people. They prey on vulnerable populations, particularly the elderly. And we have a bill which is growing in support, and hopefully will eventually get passed here and signed into law by the president, that go a long ways toward preventing these types of scams. It's going after these bad actors, it's going after these violators, essentially upping the penalties that they would face, and making it very clear to them that this kind of behavior isn't going to be accepted. Now, it's not going to get rid of all of them, obviously, but we think it will go a long ways toward preventing what many people perceive today to be a major problem.
Mr. Senator, I can absolutely assure you that this country is cheering you on. Go at it.
Yeah, right, will do.
Senator John Thune, Republican, South Dakota. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Bet.
Thanks very much.
Bye now.